ago, when we just started this work, we had a lot of problems. We would have our principal problems were the police, the citizens, and the government officials. The police would treat us like thieves. Even if we weren't actually stealing, we were picking up waste from the street, but they would still see it as an opportunity to harass us and keep us behind at the police station for entire days.
असं करून आम्ही एक संघटित झालो. मग एक करता आम्ही सगळेजण मिळून आम्हाला त्रास व्हायला लागला, म्हणून आपण संघटित होऊ. संघटित झाल्याशिवाय आपल्याला त्रास कमी होणार नाही. मग आम्ही कागद, काच, पत्र, कष्टकरी, पंचायत अशी एक संघटना केली. आणि त्या संघटनेमध्ये मग हळूहळू आधी 100 झाले, पुन्हा 500 झाले, असं वाढवत वाढवत आमचे आता 8-9 हजार लोक तयार झाले. मग ती आमची एक संघटना झाली, तेव्हा आम्हाला ते त्रास कमी झाला.
So we realized that we used to fight our problems on our own for the longest time, but we realized that we could not do it by ourselves. So one by one we started coming together one at a time, and slowly this group grew, and we could see that by organizing and by fighting against these odds together, we had a better chance of overcoming our problems. So we started with 80 women, and then adding one, we went from 80 to 100 to 500, and now after 20 years we have 8 to 10,000 waste pickers just in the city of Pune. And it has been through organizing and fighting and claiming for our rights together that a lot of our problems have been solved.
मग आम्ही मग सगळेजण मिळून आम्ही मोर्चा काढायचो. मग कॉर्पोरेशनला जाऊन आम्हाला ओळखपत्र द्या म्हणून आम्ही भांडायचो.
So we would take out protests and demonstrations together. We've been taking out protests and demonstrations. We take it up with the local municipal government, asking them for some basic rights and some basic equipment.
मग आम्ही ती भांडून कॉर्पोरेशन कोण आम्ही ओळखपत्र घेतलं. मग आम्हाला ती ओळखपत्र दिल्यामुळे आमचा त्रास कमी झाला.
So the first thing that we fought for was identity, because we weren't recognized as workers. Most of the time we wouldn't even be recognized as human beings. So the first thing that we got was an identity card. We got an identity card from the local government issued to us, which specifies that we are waste pickers. And so now we are identified as being workers rather than just being free roaming people who could pick up waste on the street. So she's actually got that ID card along to show. It's endorsed by the local municipal government. It has a sign and stamp of the senior authority of the local government. It has a photograph, and it specifies that she's a waste picker. The waste that the materials that she's carrying have been procured by her in the process of doing her work. It also mentions that she's a recycling worker, and what she's doing is something that is serving the society. And so this really helps them. For example, if they stop by the police and they say, "Oh, you've stolen this from somewhere," they're like, "No, I have a card. I'm authorized."
तिथून मग आम्ही एक 10 टन जर कचरा उचलत असून आम्ही, तर त्यातून 5 टन तर आम्ही काढून घेतो. मग कॉर्पोरेशनची सर्व्हिस कमी होती, त्यांची वाहतूक कमी होती, खर्च कमी होतो, त्यांचा खर्च वाचतो त्यांचा. म्हणून मग आम्ही त्यांना म्हटलं की आम्हाला विमा पाहिजे, आरोग्य विमा पाहिजे, जीवन विमा पाहिजे, आणि शाळेच्या मुलांसाठी आमच्या शिष्यवृत्ती पाहिजे. हे आम्ही भांडून त्यांच्याकडनं घेतो.
So if we would collect, say, about 10 tons, we would retain 5 tons of the waste by ourselves. When she said 10 tons, she means all the waste pickers as a group. We'd retain 5 tons with ourselves and we'd sell it to recyclers. And we realized that this was saving the local government a lot of money, because they wouldn't have to transport this waste, what they would generally have to do. So on the basis of the savings to the municipal government and the environmental work that we do, we started demanding social security rights from our local government, starting with a life insurance, and then slowly over the years progressing to include a medical insurance as well to take care of our health. And now we've reached a point where we are getting scholarships for our children so that they can learn and they don't have to do the same kind of work that we are doing now.
चार लाख घरामधून कचरा दारादारातून जाऊन उचलतो, वल्ला यागळा सुका यागळा करतो, ते सिग्रिगेशन करून वल्ल्या कचऱ्याचं खत बनवतो. आणि सुका कचरा आम्हाला जी लागणार आहे ती घेतो, बाकीचा कचरा याला देतो, कॉर्पोरेशनच्या गाडीला देतो, घंटा गाडी.
So we decided we wanted to stop going to the waste containers which are kept on this side of the streets where people just kind of dump their waste. We decided we wanted to stop going to the containers to collecting waste. We wanted to stop going to the landfill sites to collect waste, and we wanted to go to the source of generation, to people's houses directly, and pick up waste from there. So we formed a Waste Pickers Cooperative, on the basis of which, and we negotiated a contract with the local government. And now we pick up waste directly from the households, from 400,000 households in the city.
मग त्याच्यासाठी पण आम्हाला मग दारादारातून कचरा घ्यायचं तर मग साहित्य लागायला लागलं परत. मग साहित्यासाठी आम्ही काय केलं की कॉर्पोरेशनला मागितलं की बकेटा द्या, गाड्या द्या, हातमोजे द्या, चप्पल, गणवेश द्या, ते ओळखपत्र म्हणून आम्हाला ते स्वच्छचं अंगात घालायला गणवेश पाहिजे. मग ती पण भांडून आम्ही सारखं जाऊन वरच्या काढून ती पण आम्ही मिळवून घेतलं. सगळेजण मिळून जायचो, भांडायचो, मग ते पण द्यायला लागले आम्हाला, सहकार्य केलं.
So we would collect the waste from the houses, we would segregate them into wet waste and dry waste, turn where possible, convert the wet waste into compost, and take out the recyclables from that waste and put that into recycling. Again, because we were doing this service to the city, to the citizens of the city, we demanded and were given by the municipal government uniforms, equipment for performing these activities, shoes, gumboots, raincoats, ID cards, etc. So, but we have had to fight for all of this, and we are getting these things one by one.
की आम्ही 50च्या 60च्या पुढे गेलो तर आम्हाला काम होणार नाही, तर आम्ही आता त्यांना पेन्शन मागतोय की आम्हाला पेन्शन चालू करा, तुमचं एवढं काम करतोय आम्ही. दुसरे तुमचे जे कॉर्पोरेशनचे कर्मचारी आहेत त्यांना पगारी चालू आहे, त्यांना गणपता मिळतो, पेन्शन मिळते. मग आम्ही पण तुमचं काम करतोय, शेवटी आम्ही देशाचे नागरिकच आहेत, आम्ही नागरिकाला सेवा देतोय, मग आम्हाला पण पेन्शन चालू करा. त्यासाठी पण आता आम्ही भांडतोय, मोर्चा घेऊन जातोय, दिल्लीला जातोय.
So while we have to fight for to retain everything that we've already got, we also continue struggling to get a little bit more from the governments on the basis of the fact that we're providing a public service and that we're doing it for the citizens, and the fact that we are also workers and citizens of this country. So our future demands now is to ask for pensions from our government, so that when we are old and we can't work, we'll be able to enjoy the fruits of having done the labor over our lifetime.
पहिलं आम्हाला काय कंटेनरला याचायचो ना आम्ही, तर कंटेनरला म्हणायचे काही बाई कागद येते, मग जवळून असं जायचं तर असं नाकाला दाबून पुढं निघून जायचे. तर मग आता आम्ही अभिमानाने सांगतो की कामाला कुठे आहे, तर आम्ही सोसायटीत काम करतो, आम्हाला पेमेंट मिळतंय, असं आम्ही अभिमानाने आता सांगतो. की पहिलं कसं कंटेनरला जात होता, पेमेंट मिळत नव्हतं, आम्हाला पगार भेटत नव्हतं, नुसतं येचून काय विकून होईल तेवढंच. आता ते त्याच्यातलं काढलं तर त्याच्यातलं बी पैसा मिळतो आणि नागरिकाकडून बी पैसे मिळतात, पगार मिळते. मग ते संस्थेमुळं काय केलं की आम्ही प्रत्येक सोसायटीला चेक सांगितलं की चेक करून द्या आम्हाला, मग चेक देतात आम्हाला, मग आम्ही संस्थेत ते चेक भरतो आणि मग संस्था आम्हाला पेमेंट करते. डायरेक्ट आमच्या खात्यावर आम्हाला खाते काढून दिलेत बँकेची, मग डायरेक्ट आमच्या खात्यामध्ये पगार जमा होतो.
So the biggest difference that this entire process of formalization of our work is that in the beginning when we would work on the streets around the containers, people would pass us by and they would cover their noses and avert their eyes and not look at us. But now over the years, I'm proud to say that I go to people's houses and I'm invited to have tea with them. And before, people would ask me what do I do, I didn't have an answer, but now when they say what do you do, where do you go during the day, I tell them I go to work. I go to a residential society and I go for work over there. So that's the big difference that has made, and we're trying to make this as transparent and as official as possible by changing all our payments into checks. So they receive payments from the households which they service. So they're trying to convert all the payments into checks and electronic transfers so that nobody can say that we are taking too much or we're not doing this in a formal legal way. We're trying to convert, or we're trying to evade taxes or any of that. We're trying to formalize it and make it as clean and clear as possible.